welcome once again to Digicast. Now, in our previous episode, we looked at the theme chooser, as well as a quick overview into the designer interface. Now, in this episode, we'll go into a little bit more detail into the designer interface by moving into more detail into our navigator, also looking at our different views within our views panel. Basically looking at how we can make certain functions even easier with the use of our different views within Keynotes. Now, in our designer interface, it will always start up in our navigator view, which is basically showing all the slides in thumbnails on the sidebar, as well as showing the slide we are currently busy with on our main canvas. Now, there are additional views we can access within our application by clicking on the Views button on the top left-hand corner of my toolbar, which will then open my Views panel. Now, in my Views panel, I have the Navigator, Slide Only, Light Table, as well as Outline view. Currently selected is my Navigator view. Now, if I should add in additional slides, by clicking on the Slide button, which will then open my Master Slides panel, which is basically slides that contain its own placeholders. Now, if I should click on, say, the slide with the title, as well as bullet point placeholders, we'll add in that slide within my Navigator as my second slide, which is now also displayed under my main canvas. Now, if I should add in an additional slide, which I will use this time as my slide with a image placeholder, it will then add that slide in as my third slide as displayed on my navigator. So I can jump from one slide to the next by clicking on the thumbnails on my navigator, which will then be displayed on my main canvas. However, to show the additional functions as well as the slides in action, I'll open an existing presentation that has additional slides which contains both images, objects, as well as text. So to do that, I'll go to File, Open. I'll open my outline presentation. Now, if you do have your own presentation that contains additional slides, as well as objects within those slides, you are welcome to utilize that presentation. Alternatively, just follow through with me during this video. So if I select my outline and click on Open, which will then open that presentation. So as I can see, I've got 11 different slides containing more text, as well as different objects within certain slides, as well as the image which is displayed on this particular slide. Now, if I should select any of the slides as mentioned earlier, will display that particular slide on my main canvas. However, I can also do additional functions while I'm within my navigator view. Now, if I should click on this particular slide, I can drag it to any position within my navigator, which will then place it into the position as selected. I can also add in additional slides within my navigator. Besides clicking on the Add Slide button, I can do a secondary click, which is two fingers click on my trackpad, right click on my mouse, or simply hold down Control and click, which will then open another panel, which I can then add in my slide by clicking on New Slide. To delete, I simply just tap backspace on my keyboard, which will then remove that particular slide. As we can see, we couldn't add in a specific master. However, it will just add in a slide with the title as well as bullet placeholders. Further on, we can also hide or show a certain slide during our slideshow by doing a secondary click again. And this time around, I just click on the Skip Slide option, which will then change the icon or the thumbnail of that slide, which means that this slide will not display during our slideshow. To display the slide again, we follow the same action, which is my secondary click, and this time around I will click the Don't Skip Slide option. So these are the options that I have within my navigator view. Now, if I should go into my next view, which is the slide only, will display the slide as it would be within my slideshow. I can also utilize my zoom button to see more detail within the slide or to see more detail of the slide when zooming out. The next view, which will be my light table, will basically put all the slides into grid format. Now, while it is in grid format, this makes the slide selection or sorting even a bit easier, which means that I can simply click, hold, and drag it to any position as I would have done during my navigator view. However, being in grid view make it more easier to put it in a certain sequence. Further on, if we go to our view panel again, we then have the last view option, which is the outline view. Now, under my outline view, it will take out all media as well as objects and only focus on text. So as we can see, we have only text displayed on our sidebar. Now, if I should select the first slide, which is outline, it will then display that particular slide. However, if I want to change outline into getting started, I can change it either by clicking on the placeholder where outline appears, or I can do it as well in my sidebar while I'm in my outline view. So if I click on outline and I click on getting started, I'll see that I've changed it on my sidebar. However, it changed it in the slide immediately. So we can edit the text within my sidebar while in my outline view. Now, these are all the different views as well as functions that we can utilize within our presentation. Next, we'll look at the additional tools. As we looked at the views within our views panel, there are also the additional tools that is available to us within the same panel. Starting off with the Edit Master Slides, which takes us to the Master Slides view, which are basically these slides that are contained within a theme that contains its own placeholders, font, as well as background. For now, we will not look at the editing of the master slides. We will look at it at a more later stage within our Keynote training. So we click on the Done button to return to our presentation mode, and we then can continue on to the next tool, which is our Show, Find, and Replace. Under our Show, Find, and Replace gives us the ability to find certain words within our presentation without manually going into each and every slide. Now, to start, we can search for any word. Let's search for the word format, and it will find 4 items under that word. Now, if I should click on the next arrow, I'll see that it will even find the word format within a word formatting. So I can continue on and search again, and it will find it under my 3rd slide, which is a heading, and then the 4th one will be then find it in under slide 9 under another heading. And if I continue again, it will then repeat the process. Now, I can also redefine my search by going into the cogwheel and clicking on the whole words option. Now, as soon as I click on whole words, I'll see that my search will drop down to 3 because formatting is not format as it is the complete word that I'm looking for. Now, if I should continue on by clicking on the arrows, it will follow the same sequence as it did with my previous search. If I want to refine my search even further, I can now go to Match Case. Now, as soon as I click on Match Case, I'll see that it will find nothing, as the case or the words within my presentation always starts with a capital F, and here all my letters are lowercase. So for now, if I should change my F also into an uppercase F, I'll see that it will have brought it back to finding 3 items. If I should go back into my cogwheel, I can also change my find option to a find and replace, which gives me the option to replace those words immediately to a different word, which makes it much easier. So here I can replace all of the words within my presentation, or I can continue replacing it by just clicking on the replace and find, which will not stop it under one word, or I can just replace it once. So for now, I'm going to use all 3 options. So I'm going to change format to configuration, and I will simply click on, first of all, replace, which will only replace it once. As I can see, it won't do it again. However, if I click on the arrow, it will find the next item, and this time around I'll click on replace and find, which will then replace and find another format, and this time I can just replace all. That will replace everything. So that is how I use my find and replace tool. Moving on to the next tool, we can also show our rulers within our presentation, and this will basically show the ruler on the top as well as on the side, which basically gives us the option to line up certain items within our presentation manually. We can also change the configuration of our rulers by simply clicking on the Keynote on the top of our menu bar and clicking on preferences, and we can choose the rulers option. Now under the rulers, we can change the ruler units from points to inches to centimeters. For now, I'll change it back to points, and I can show size and position when moving objects. So if objects are moved, it will be indicated on the ruler. I can change my center of my ruler by clicking the place origin at center of ruler, which basically means that my initial point of my ruler will be in the center and not on the sides, as I can see. And I can also select the display ruler units as percentage, and it will change it to percentage order instead of points order or even centimeters. And close down my preferences. Let's move on to the next tool, which is my show comments. So as soon as I click on show comments, it will give me the ability to actually add in comments within a slide. Very handy for if two or more people are collaborating on a particular presentation. And I will take this bullet here and highlight it, click on comment, and it will comment that particular bullet, and I can add in my comments by just typing in what I need to show to the next person. It will then show as a little green icon and highlighted green within my particular slide. For now, I'll just hide it once again, which will then hide that particular comment. The last tool within my views panel is the show presenter notes. This is very handy as this will display our presenter notes during our slideshow, as well as if we want to print out handouts, it will also show us the particular presenter notes. So each and every slide will have its own presenter notes. Starting off with the first slide, there I can see there's my one presenter note. My second slide, I can simply type in the next one. This is my second slide, which will then display on my thumbnail in my navigator with these few dots on the top right hand corner within my thumbnail. So these are the different tools that I can utilize with the construction or even the editing of my presentation. On our next movie, we will look into further detail of my inspector, which gives us the ability to look into more settings within our slides or even our objects. So thank you for watching this edition of Digicast with me, Angela Martin, until we speak again.